All right. EVO, let's talk about it. As you have seen by the title, I placed 25th out of 363 entrants at my second Rivals 2 major. My first being Genesis X2. I got 33rd there, and I got 25th at EVO. That's one set higher. Let's go. I feel Rivals 2 got treated really well at EVO. I was quite surprised. I thought the setups were great. We had a decent amount of setups for how many players were there. And we actually got top 8 streamed on one of the main EVO streams, which was awesome. And my personal EVO experience was amazing. I have no complaints whatsoever. The only complaint that I really have was that I was scheduled to play Tekken at 10 a.m. and then I had to play Rivals at 6 p.m. on day one, so I was a little stretched thin by the time Rivals came around, but I was able to pull through and make it to day 2. But anyways, let's get into that. I got a bye round 1. Basically, winners round 2 is my first match, and I played against Scrappy. He was very new to the game, so it was a little bit of a wash. But they were a Zetterburn player, and it was a fun set. I'll just say that it was a fun set for me, at least. And then came my round 2 winners quarterfinals of round 1 pools, and his tag was Emerald 87. Now Emerald, I remember back when Edelus first came out, and I was just on the grind, you know, trying to get better, and I would always run into Emerald 87 on ranked or on casuals, and I I was honestly pretty scared because he used to wash me back in the day. And our set was really back and forth too. We were taking stocks back and forth. Game 1 was a 2 stock in my favor. Game 2 was a 2 stock in his favor. Honestly, this game 3, it had me shook. I was so scared. Game 3, I ended up SDing at such an early percent. And I had to make a crazy comeback to win this game 3. But as long as you always keep your head in the game and take deep breaths, try to chill out, you know, you can always pull through with these wins. It was actually pretty crazy the way that I came back. So after popping off in that set, I ended up having to play against Dakpo to make it to day 2. At this point, I was already guaranteed to get out of round 1 pools, which was my main goal, besides placing my seed, of course. I just went into this thinking, you know what, if I win, then I win. If I lose, then, you know, that's okay, you know. But yeah, that set went as expected. I played okay, but I do wish I could have done a little bit better, put up a little bit more of a fight, but I was content making day 2 at that point. Dakpo is a very, very, very talented player, and I am a little unexperienced with the roster matchup, I will say. But yeah, that brings us to day 2. Now, my first match of day 2 is none other than Dan Fernacey himself. Now, before we even started the set, he's like, well, be prepared for Edalus to be taken out of the game. I was like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I ended up taking that set 2-0. So Edalus players, be warned, we may not have Edalus in the game next patch. I'm sorry. My losers round 2 of round 2 pools was Windforce, and they were a Rano player, which, as you know, I do have a lot of experience against Rano, so that went 2-0 in my favor. It was a really fun set though. I got to do a lot of bullshit. It's just every set with me and Edalus. I just do a lot of bullshit. Now this brought us to losers round 3 of round 2 pools, and it was against someone that I wasn't expecting to play against that day. It ended up being Cupid, the player that beat Marlin super early in bracket, in day 1 actually. Knocked Marlin into losers. And that was a crazy upset. Shoutouts to Cupid, because that is an amazing win right there. And coming from my Emerald 87 win the day before, I was going into this set, you know, pretty confident. I was like, yeah, I can fight Zetterburn right now. Let's do it. I can do this. Cupid and I had a really good set. It was a lot of fun, but I ended up taking it 2-0. Moving on to my top 24 losers qualifiers. As you know, I got 25th, so I didn't make it through. But my opponent was Vibe. But yeah, I had to play against Vibe's Clarion, which was an experience for sure. I took no games, and I will say that I did feel way more comfortable game 3. I feel like I was in my groove a little bit more, but Vibe ended up reverse 3-stalking me, dude. It was bad. It was on stream too, and that was a little embarrassing. Just a little embarrassing, but that's okay. It's really cool to play against these really good players. Vibe is one of the best Clarins in the world, so I can't be mad about that, especially as an Edalus player, because that matchup can be kind of hard for Edalus. I did my best. Vibe is just really good. But yeah, that was my Rivals of Aether 2 EVO run. I hope you enjoyed that. EVO was definitely one of the best Rivals events that has ever happened, and I think if you are thinking about going next year for Rivals, if it is part of the lineup, then I definitely recommend it. If you have the means to make it out there, it's definitely worth it. I think if we can get enough people out there then maybe even someday we could be part of the main lineup, which would be so awesome to have a platform fighter on the main lineup again. Also, I want to make a note that Plup won both of the both of the Rivals 2 majors that I have gone to, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice, you know? It's a little funny to think about. But yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all next time. Woo!